Good morning students, myself Vikas Tiwari, PGT Biology from PG Senior Secondary School. I am here with my next topic for class 9th, that is about connective tissue, because in my last video my topic was about animal tissue. So here we will discuss about connective tissue. In case of connective tissue, the tissue which is connected to the all parts of body are called connective tissue, and in case of connective tissue, the cells are loosely packed. It's mean that in between cells a large gapping is present, and that gapping is filled with a jelly like fluid, and that fluid is called matrix. So it's mean that in case of connective tissue, the cells are loosely packed, and in between cells large gapping are present, and that gapping is filled with a jelly like fluid, and that fluid is called matrix. So connective tissue connected to the all parts of our body, and there are many type of connective tissues are present in animal body. So in case of connective tissue, cells of connective tissue are loosely spaced and embedded in an intercellular matrix. Means in between cells a fluid is present, that is jelly like fluid, and that fluid is called matrix. Such tissue connects and binds different tissues. Why they are called connective tissue? So connective tissue connects and bind different tissue, so it is called as connective tissue because it is connected to the other tissues and the parts. It helps in body defense. The main function of connective tissue is body defense. After that, if any tissues are damaged, so on that time the connective tissue helps in tissue repairing, and it also store fat globules. Means in case of cells of connective tissue, globules of fats are also stored. So there are three main functions of connective tissue, that is the body defense, tissue repair, and fat storage. Now about types of connective tissue. So commonly there are 8 types of connective tissue. There are 8 types of connective tissue. These are areolar tissue, adipose tissue, white fibrous tissue, tendon, ligament, cartilage, bone, and blood. Blood is a type of fluid connective tissue. Blood is a type of fluid connective tissue because it is present in fluid form and responsible for transportation of many type of substances: oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogenous paste, salts, means from one part to other part. So these are the main types of connective tissue, that is the areolar tissue, adipose tissue, white fibrous tissue, tendon, ligament, cartilage, bone, and blood. One by one we will discuss about all these types. Now about the first type of connective tissue, that is areolar tissue. Commonly areolar tissue present in between skin and muscles, mean skin attached with muscles with the help of areolar tissue. So areolar tissue present in between skin and muscle around the blood vessels, means around the blood vessels and nerves, and it helps in tissue repairing. So the areolar tissue is a type of connective tissue present in between skin and muscles, around blood vessels and nerves, and in the bone marrow. Bone marrow present inside the bone like femur and radius, ulna. And bone marrow are of 2 types: red bone marrow and yellow bone marrow. And bone marrow is responsible for production of blood, because blood is produced by bone marrow, and many type of lymphocytes are also produced by bone marrow, especially areolar tissue present in between the muscle and skin, around the blood vessel, nerves, and in bone marrow. The areolar tissue supports internal organs and helps in repair of tissue. It supports internal organ, means internal organ fixed on their place. So the areolar tissue helps the internal organ and helps in repair of tissue. If any tissues are damaged, on that time it repair the damaged tissue. It helps to keep the organs in place and in normal shape, means all the organs are fixed on their particular place, so the areolar tissue maintain the normal shape of the organs of body, and also helps to keep the organs in their proper place. Now the second number is adipose tissue. First number areolar tissue and second number adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is a type of connective tissue, and it is also a fat storing tissue because it stores fat, and the main function of adipose tissue is the synthesis of fat and storage of fat. And the adipose tissue commonly present are found below the skin. It is present below the skin and between the internal organs. Where our adipose tissue present are found, so it is present below the skin and in between the internal organs of body. The cells of adipose tissue contain fat globules, and the adipose tissue helps in the synthesis and storage of fat. So it is a connective tissue and fat storing tissue, and found between the skin and below the skin and between internal organs of our body, because there are many type of organs are present in our body, and that organ form organ system, and that organ system maintain the body functions. And the cells filled with fat globules, it's mean that in case of cells of adipose tissue, fat globules are present, so the cells of adipose tissue filled with fat globules, and the main function of adipose tissue, so it shows the synthesis and storage of fats. Now the next is white fibrous tissue. The white fibrous tissue commonly present at the joints between skull and bones. So where are white fibrous tissue present? So it is present at the joints between skull and bones, and it makes them immovable and fixed. Means it helps in the immovable and fixed of skull and bones, and it is a special connective tissue. It is a type of special connective tissue with only a few fibroblasts as cellular components. Means in case of white fibrous tissue, in the form of cellular components, fibroblasts are present, so it is a special connective tissue with only a few fibroblasts as cellular components, and commonly present in between the skull and bones, and helps it in immovable and fixation. Now the next is tendon. Tendon is a type of connective tissue and helps to join the skeletal muscle to bone. Means the muscle which surround our bones are called skeletal muscle, and skeletal muscle join with bone with the help of tendon. Means tendon helps to join the skeletal muscle to bones. It's mean that the skeletal muscle which surround the bone are our skeletal system, so attached with the help of tendon, and tendon is made up of dense and strong fibrous connective tissue. The tendon is made up of dense and strong fibrous tissue, and tendons are fibrous tissue with great strength, but limited flexibility. Means in tendon there are no more flexibility. It is strength, it is strong but with limited flexibility and responsible for attachment of skeletal muscle to bone. Now the next is ligament. Ligament is also a type of special connective tissue and it helps to join the bones on the place of joints. Joints are the place where two bones are attached to each other. Means there are many joints occur in our body, elbow joints, shoulder joints and the limbs. So it's mean that the ligament helps to join the bones on the place of joints. So it connects two bones on the place of joints, means two bones are attached with the help of ligament. So it helps to join the bones on the place of joints and it is very elastic with considerable strength. So due to the elasticity in ligament, it helps in movements, rotation of our neck. Means with the help of ligament we can move or rotate our neck and limbs and fingers are possible. So due to the presence of ligaments, movements and rotation of our neck, limbs, fingers are possible and it helps to connect two bones on the place of joints. Means there are many joints present in our body and on the place of joints bones are attached, are connected with the help of ligament which is elastic with considerable strength. Now next is cartilage. Cartilage is a type of connective tissue. Means it is solid but flexible connective tissue. The cartilage is solid but flexible connective tissue and the cartilage present in our nose. Means this outer part of nose is made up of cartilage, outer part of our ear is made up of cartilage, trachea is made up of rings of cartilage as well as larynx. So larynx, trachea, nose, ears all are made up of cartilage and it is hard but flexible. Means flexibility present in case of our ear, nose, trachea and larynx. It has solid matrix which is made up of protein and sugars. Means in case of cartilage a solid matrix is present and that matrix is made up of protein and sugar. It means that the cartilage is commonly made up of protein and sugars. It smoothens bone surfaces at joints. Means it reduces the friction between the bones on the place of joints because it smoothens bone surfaces at joints and also present in the nose, ear, trachea and larynx. So cartilage is a type of solid but flexible connective tissue. Now next is bone. Bone is a type of connective tissue and there are 206 bones are present in a human body. In a human body 206 bones are present and all the bones are attached to each other and form the skeletal system. So in the skeletal system of human being 206 bones are present and the largest bone is femur and the smallest bone is stapes which is present in our ear and femur is the bone of our thigh. Bone is a solid and non-flexible connective tissue, while in case of cartilage is solid but flexible in nature. But in case of bone, it is solid and non-flexible connective tissue. Means flexibility not occur in bone. Bone cannot fold. It is only fold on the place of joints through the help of ligament. It forms the framework that supports the body. Framework means skeletal system is made up of bones, means there are 206 bones are involved in the formation of framework of body, and that supports the human body, that is our skeletal system. The bones are made up of a special type of cells. That cells are known as osteocytes embedded with matrix. The bone cells are known as osteocytes. This is very important for 1 marks. The bone cells are called, so the bones are made up of a special type of cells, and that cells are called osteocytes. Second question is that which protein is responsible for formation of bones, or which protein present in bones? That is osine protein. Osine protein is responsible for formation of bones, or in bones osine protein is present. So osine is a type of protein present in bone, and bone is also made up of calcium and phosphorus compounds, that is phosphate, sulfate and carbonate. So in the form of protein, osine protein is present. In case of cells, that is osteocytes, and calcium and phosphorus compounds like phosphate, sulfate and carbonate all are present in bone. So bone is a very special type of connective tissue which forms the framework and that supports the body. Now in case of connective tissue, the last is blood. Blood is a type of fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue. It is also known as vascular tissue. Blood connected to the all parts of our body, and it is present in fluid form, so called fluid connective tissue. Blood consists of 55% plasma, 55% plasma and 45% blood corpuscles. In case of blood corpuscles, that is RBCs, red blood corpuscles, WBCs, white blood corpuscles and platelets. The second name of RBCs, erythrocytes, erythrocytes. The second name of WBCs, leukocytes, leukocytes and platelets are called thrombocytes. So these are the three other names of RBCs, WBCs and platelets. In case of blood, especially RBC is responsible for transportation of oxygen. RBC is responsible for transportation of oxygen, and it provides red color because in RBC hemoglobin is present. Hemoglobin is present, which is made up of heme pigment. Heme is a iron containing pigment and globin protein. So due to the presence of heme, the color of blood is in red color, means it provides red color due to the presence of iron, and blood is responsible for transportation of many type of substances, salts, nitrogenous waste, oxygen and carbon dioxide in fluid form. There are two main functions of hemoglobin. First, it is like a carrier for the transportation of oxygen from lungs to the body parts, and it provides red color. So in case of blood, 55% are plasma while 45% are corpuscles, and there are three types of corpuscles are present in case of blood, that is RBC, WBC and platelets. And the RBC or WBC made up of bone, it is produced by bone marrow, means bone marrow is responsible for production of RBC and WBC, and blood is conducted inside a closed circulatory system, especially inside blood vessels. Inside blood vessels, and blood vessel consists of arteries, veins and capillaries. So blood is also a type of connective tissue which is present in fluid form, so called fluid connective tissue, and responsible for conduction of substances from one body part to other body parts through blood vessels. Blood vessels are a network of our body which is connected to the all parts, because it consists of arteries, veins and capillaries, in which arteries carry oxygenated blood except then pulmonary artery, veins carry deoxygenated blood except then pulmonary veins, and capillaries transport the blood into tissues and muscles. So these are the types of connective tissue. In my next video about muscular tissue and nervous tissue. Now thanks.